Why nothing happened? I can hear you saying, "Oh, I did that," and nothing happened.
Yeah,
You
this
did
is
not
one
get
minute, one
results.
minute, one minute. This is week
Yeah, yeah.
16 and session 2. We should remember, when we open the recording, so we should remember this is week 16, session 2. Yes. Yes, continue.
Why nothing happened? I can hear you saying, "Oh, I did that," and nothing happened. You did not get results because you indulged in fear thoughts. Perhaps 10 minutes later, and neutralize the good you had affirmed. When you place a seed in the ground, you do not dig it up. You let it take root and grow. Suppose, for example, you're going to say, "I shall not be able to make that payment." Before you get further, then "I shall" stop the sentence and dwell on a constructive statement such as, "By day and by night I am prospered in all my ways."
See?
So he's changing his
Mm,
normal tone
exactly.
that we all say. Uh,
I shall. He
that is
said,
what,
I shall stop the sentence by
so I
day and
shall.
by night. So that makes it a
Yes,
future tense now. I shall means there
yes.
is something in the future. So that future never
And I
comes.
shall, and it's not in conformity as well. I shall.
Yes.
Matlab, it's
Hmm.
maybe or may not be. Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm. So by day and by night, I am prospered in all my ways. We will all have a good success stories now, right? Yes, Shilpi, continue.
True sources of wealth. Your subconscious mind is never short of ideas. There are within it infinite number of ideas ready to flow into your conscious mind and appear as cash in your pocketbook in countless ways. This process will continue to go on in your mind regardless of whether the stock market goes up or down, or whether the pound sterling or dollar drops in value. Your wealth is never truly dependent on bonds, stocks, or money in the bank. These are really only symbols, necessary and useful, of course, but only symbols. The point I wish to emphasize is that if you convince your subconscious mind that the wealth is yours and that it is always circulating in your life, you will always and inevitably have it, regardless of the form it takes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. The point I wish to emphasize is that if you convince your subconscious mind that wealth is yours, that means we deserve it, and that is always circulating in your life, you will always and inevitably have it regardless of the form it takes. Getting all of us, have to, if we are doing it, if you're already doing it, is very good. But if you have one point, any doubts, remove it. So it is always circulating in our life. It is always circulating. So that means, if we start thinking with this conviction, close your eyes and just talk to yourself for a few minutes. Like, yes, I deserve, I am wealthy, not even wealthy, wealth and success. And then I deserve to have this. I actually deserve. Then it starts, we just have to accept the idea in our own mind. This is what he's saying. In fact, in the entire book, he's saying everything, you just health, you have to accept yourself, wealth, you have to accept, success, you have to accept you. We just have to accept the idea. And the everything else will just go apart. It will fall in place. If you have heard about, many people talk about this. If even if Abraham Hicks also talk about this, you do nothing and everything will fall in place. Because our interference happens is about the doubts, about the insecurities, about the fear. We keep on interfering in our own vibrations and we keep on coming in the state of lack. Okay, chalo, continue. Yes, Shilpi?
Okay, trying to make ends meet and the real cause. There are people who claim that they are always trying to make ends meet. They seem to have a great struggle to meet their obligations. Have you listened to their conversation? In many instances, their conversation runs along this vein. They are constantly condemning those who have succeeded in life and who have raised their heads above the crowd. Perhaps they are saying, oh, that fellow has a racket. He's ruthless. He's a crook. This is this is why they lack. They are condemning the thing they desire and want. The reason they speak critically of their more prosperous associates is because they are envious and covetous of the other's prosperity. The quickest way to cause wealth to take wings and fly away is to criticize and condemn others who have more wealth than you.
See, I was talking the same thing now. You will realize that why we should not compare or
Yes.
criticize it, because it is only an energy. This is what he's saying, that these are only symbols. The money in the bank and the bonds and the stocks, they are only symbols. We are happy with it because we identify them as something very precious. So when we identify even with the symbols as very precious and having them, the same ways we are when we are having people around who are in the same personality of having money, we should not criticize the money, and we should not criticize about anything. In fact, they are using it differently now, but we should not keep it in that way, right? And continue, we have more to hear
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Shilpi, if you
Oh,
want, like, I can carry it if you wish.
Yeah, yeah, please carry on.
Yes, yes. Thank you. A common stumbling block to wealth. There is one emotion which is the cause of the lack of wealth in the lives of many. Most people learn this the hard way. It is envy. For example, if you see a competitor depositing large sums of money in the bank and you have only a meager amount to deposit, does it make you envious? The way to overcome this emotion is to say to yourself, isn't it wonderful? I rejoice in that man's prosperity. I wish for him greater and greater wealth. To entertain envious thoughts is devastating because it places you in a very negative position. Therefore, wealth flows from you instead of to you. If you are ever annoyed or irritated by the prosperity of or great wealth of another, claim immediately that you truly wish for him greater wealth in every possible way. This will neutralize the negative thoughts in your mind and cause an even greater measure of wealth to flow to you by the law of your own subconscious mind.
see, so what I understood is, and the deeper level, that my subconscious is always showing prosperity, but it is showing prosperity to other people. So we get emotions of comparison and jealousy, and we think we come to
Correct.
the state of lack. Whereas when something has come as a proof to somebody else, if we start cherishing that, oh, my subconscious has shown me a picture, you know that this is when this has come up. See, if we are staying in the areas the like the rural areas or somewhere which is very dirty, if we are living in that place, we will always look up to the people who are always wealthy, right? But because we are living in that area, it is very difficult for us to assume the other side. So similarly, if I say that my subconscious is showing me always the same place, right? But if we have always seen, like people from the very lower, suddenly, they become that millionaires and they become rise in their consciousness. What is that, na? Because when they are seeing that happiness, they are saying, oh wow, it is like, oh wow. So there is no jealousy in that form. There is only happiness. So they are not thinking that extract from them. They are thinking I should be like them, right? So this is a very important point to understand, that when as you were talking about your brother, you should feel happy. One person in my family has this ability, so it is in my DNA.
Yeah.
So when he has done
Yes,
it, I
yes,
can
ma'am.
also do it,
Yeah, absolutely. No,
right?
I really am happy for him.
Mm.
Like I compared in the terms of where he had that flow of time to make his career, where that is the difference where I'm
That is
lacking
what
behind
that is
than
I'm saying.
That's what I thought.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I'll tell you,
Now,
I understand what you are saying. I'll tell you one thing. In his mind, he was not comparing, maybe. He was relating. Okay.
Mm.
He was relating, and what happens is, what I have read sometimes, and I've practiced also, that when you want to become like somebody, you should start following that person. Okay. So
Okay.
when you keep on talking to that person, that wealth conception starts coming to you. So
Okay.
in that process, you are tapping into their frame of mind, that how they think, what are their thoughts about that point, of that prosperity, of that health. When you speak to those people, you'll realize our thought process and their thought process is very different, right? So it is not that, if we think somebody is up, I think we should go and attempt to have a conversation with them, and to read and understand what goes in their mind, to so that we can, become that, instead
Okay.
of
Ma'am, yeah,
pushing
one
them.
second. Yeah, I'm not just making this conversation to rack up the things, but I want to bring this to your notice that, like, see, I'm a like BA degree holder,
Hmm.
and he, like, I was not given that opportunity basically, but
Hmm.
he was pushed to it to do that.
Hmm.
Okay, that relativity would be from my father's subconscious mind also, right? Like
Hmm.
what the perception he had on a girl and a boy,
Hmm.
differentiating it. Like maybe I feel
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
girls are meant to get married and settle, and boys are get to have a career-filled life.
Hmm.
Like that might have also made that this kind of a difference of earning and making a career and settling
Hmm.
and all those things.
Hmm. Hmm.
Sometimes I feel logically like this, but yes, again to overcome this, like I feel this is the difference which is making me to like get my setbacks, and I have to come over my setbacks and again to achieve a goal. These
What
are
I
these were the
understand.
setbacks on my way.
No,
I
I'll tell
feel.
you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. When we started this chapter, you joined late. So in the first page,
Mhm.
if you open up the first page of this, page number 92, open up,
Yes.
and there is a second paragraph. Read, read it.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I know an executive in Los Angeles who receives a salary of $75,000 yearly. Last year, he went on a 9-month cruise seeing the world and its beauty spots. He said to me that he had succeeded in convincing his subconscious mind that he is worth that much money. He told me that many men in his organization getting about $100 a week knew more about the business than he did and could manage, okay, it better, but they had no ambition, no creative ideas, and were not interested in the wonders of their subconscious mind. Okay.
See? Got it? So you
Yes, yes,
only
yes.
have to accept, irrespective that what your father chose, whatever. Okay. People think that yes, boys
Mm-hmm.
have to take care of their family, so they have to be in their masculine, so they have to earn for the family. There is no wrong. But if you think you were
Correct.
denied for that, so somewhere, when what happens is, we have accepted that idea that my father didn't want it. So in that moment, we start, throwing a father figure or a male figure away from us.
Yes,
Okay. And that comes later in the relationships, that we are not able to accept any man because of our past impressions. Okay.
mm,
So I'll not talk
okay,
about
okay.
the father wounds and all, but this is actually
Yes, yes,
related,
yes, yes,
right?
yes,
So when you forgive him,
yes, ma'am.
forgive him of
Okay,
whatever he's asking, because what a female energy is, she is actually to be cherished, to be loved. To It
okay,
is not that,
okay.
what this is what he's saying, that you don't have to work hard to get money. In the first paragraph,
Right.
he is saying they do not strive, or men and women who work for a few hours a week and make fabulous sums of money, they do not strive or slave hard. Do not believe the story that the only way to become wealthy is by sweat of your brow and hard labor. It is not so. See? So it is not so.
Yeah,
So
I heard this. Yes.
yes, so this is the point I'm telling. Forget about all the stories of your mind.
Okay,
Forgive your
ma'am.
father
Yeah.
also. Forgive your father, forgive
Mhm.
yourself. Sit with closed eyes, bring him in your awareness and just say, I
Mhm.
forgive you and I forgive myself. And I free you from all these and I free myself from what all I have been carrying as pain for you and for myself.
Okay.
And then I start fresh from today. And then
Okay.
start,
Okay.
go back to this chapter, start underline the points, make it a diary, make a journal, and write down all these
Mhm.
points. Because when you write down, you start journaling, they start getting fixed in your mind. And as it starts getting
Yeah.
fixed, the subconscious is being, activated because now you are consciously writing something which you really want. And when there are
Yes.
no negatives and no, they are neutral statements, they will not bring any, resistance to it. And the life
Correct.
starts
Yes.
moving forward.
Okay.
Okay. Chalo, let's
Yeah.
read.
Okay. Sleep and grow rich. As you go to sleep at night, practice the following technique. Repeat the word well, quietly, easily, and feelingly. Do this over and over again, just like a lullaby. Lull yourself to sleep with the one word, well. You should be amazed at the result. Wealth should flow to you in avalanches of abundance. This is another example of the magic power of your subconscious mind. Serve yourself with the powers of your mind.
Hmm.
Decide to be wealthy the easy way with the infallible aid of your subconscious mind. Trying to accumulate wealth by the sweat of your brow and hard labor in is one way to become the richest man in the graveyard. You do not have to strive or slave hard. Wealth is a subconscious conviction built into your mentality, the idea of wealth. The trouble with most people is that they have no invisible means of support. Repeat the word well to yourself slowly and quietly for about 5 minutes prior to sleep, and your subconscious will bring wealth to pass in your experience. The feeling of wealth produces wealth. Keep this in mind at all times. Your conscious and subconscious mind must agree. Your subconscious accepts what you really feel to be true. The dominant idea is always accepted by your subconscious mind. The dominant idea should be wealth, not poverty. You can overcome any mental conflict regarding wealth by affirming frequently by day and night, and by night. I'm being prospered in all of my interests. Increase your sales by repeating this statement over and over again. My sales are improving every day. I'm advancing, progressing, and getting wealthier every day. Stop writing blank checks such as there is not enough to go around or there is a shortage, etc. Such statements magnify and multiply your loss. Deposits thoughts of prosperity, wealth, and success in your subconscious mind, and the latter will give you compound interest. What you consciously affirm, you must not mentally deny a few moments later. This will neutralize the good you have affirmed. Your true source of wealth consists of the ideas in your mind. You can have an idea worth millions of dollars. Your subconscious will give you the idea you seek. Envy and jealousy are stumbling blocks to the flow of wealth. Rejoice in the prosperity of others. The block to wealth is in your own mind. Destroy that block now by getting on good mental terms with everyone.
See, such a beautiful chapter.
Yeah.
So there are so many things, to remember. And it is like sleep and grow rich. And it says it's so
Yes.
easy. Sleep and grow rich. So rubbing out the mental block, we don't have to worry and be critical about someone who can claim making money on dishonestly. See, even if they are making dishonestly, C is worrying about him. we keep on judging, we keep judging people like this. We need to stop. And then he's saying neutralize. In a minute, we have said something good, and after a minute, we start affirming negative. We have nullified it. Whatever we created, we actually nullified it. So we have to stay in that seed. It is like, plant a seed and keep on watering until it grows up. So this is the same state. Anything anybody has
Okay.
to share or say something? So we are deciding to be wealthy with the easy way, right? I'm going to do it.
Correct. Yes.
So I did yesterday also. I was, in my night, I read this chapter. So I was actually thinking about wealth. I kept on saying, I don't know when I slept. So it was actually like a lullaby for me yesterday night. So there needs to be more conviction to it. Yes, yes, Pushkani.
Yeah, Parulji, I wanted to share something.
Yeah.
When you were asking about the examples of whether anyone tried this and got the success. So actually, 3 years ago, I had plenty of money in my bank accounts. I started investing them in one of the projects. So step by step, the entire amount which I had in the form of deposits, entire amount I had invested in a project, and that was going on. That was almost successfully going on. Meanwhile, for my daily and routine expenses, I had other categories of income. So one of the incomes was the in another categories, some sort of commission I used to get every month. That was the major thing for me to meet with my expenses, monthly expenses. So all of a sudden, when I totally spent the amount I had in my accounts in a project through in the form of investment, at that moment, the company from which I was getting commission went bankrupt. So I had to move out of that company. At that time, as the entire amount I had already spent, there was no surplus in my hands. And this commission was the major support for me to meet my expenses. So then I came to know that I had to come out of that company, and I signed all the papers required. It was in the afternoon, I remember. It was 3 years ago. So then I understood that I need money. So in the afternoon, I just slept while saying to myself that I don't know what happens, how things happen. Without any delay, just like that, I'm going to get another source, another company through which I would get the commission continuously without any interruption. So I just said to I relaxed, I calmed down my mind. I convinced my mind that I got it, and I slept. After waking up within an hour, I got a confirmation from other company that I can tie up with them so that I would continue to get the commission. So it didn't even 1 day. In just 1 hour, whatever the break that has come up was fulfilled by another option. It was actually a shocking thing for me because I didn't know that it would be done within an hour. I thought it may take maybe, I was like, it has to be done. And I am, as you are telling that, I convinced my mind to receive it. I accepted that receiving state. And just like that, I left it. I thought it may take some time because it may take some weeks or 1 month it can take. Generally, it is the case. But I never expected that within an hour, I would get another option, and without any break from the next month till the previous month, I got the commission from the previous company, and from the next month, I got the commission from the new company. So when I was in need, I was actually supposed to think that what's the situation for me to meet my expenses now. But somehow doing this practice helped me a lot at that moment.
Yes.
But it was tremendous.
See, again,
So
you
soon
did,
I got it.
you did one very beautiful thing. There was no negative thoughts about it. You did not accept that it will not happen.
Yes, because maybe by that time I knew about law of attraction,
Hmm.
but I had no option. I couldn't even take the risk of thinking negative. I
Negative.
had no option. At any
Hmm.
cost, it has to happen. Well, my situation was like that. So I
Yes.
didn't entertain any such thoughts.
Yes.
As thinking negative itself was the greatest risk I could have taken. That's why I didn't go for that.
Oh, acha,
But I
see,
didn't
Divishri,
expect the results to be so soon.
Divishri, this is for you.
Yes.
So you there is no option. Actually, we should think like this only, that we have no option to think negative. We have no option. We only have to think what we want, and we will get it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thinking negative itself is taking greatest risk. The
Yes.
greatest risk we take is only thinking negative and accepting that negativity.
Right. Right. Correct. Good. It was a wonderful session. Anybody else has to say something? We have a few minutes. So let us all practice, what we have learned in this chapter of becoming wealthy. The next chapter is again about, accepting your right to be rich. So we actually have the right to be rich. Then why not?
Right to do this. Yes.
Right? So we'll keep on
Yeah.
reading, chapters, and keep on listening the audios. So it will help. And please do share with people so that they also become aware of how wonderful, book readings and how effortless things are happening with somebody or the other sharing some or the other experience. And it might, somebody might be needing it, and it just happens like, oh, I was just looking for that, because somewhere or the other we were looking for these sessions also. So it's again the law of attraction, no,
Correct.
working for us. Okay. Okay. So we'll meet all next week. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye
Thank
all.
you, Parul.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.